you know, we're going to be having a really good, how do I call it? Conversation with Kelly. You know, he's a counselor. And, you know, forget all the things I've been saying for a year now. Because trust me, somebody saw me and said, you know, I like it when you speak. I said, don't mind me, it's moods. You know, it's moods. When it comes, I speak what I know. Sometimes you meet people and they are in this situation and everything, and you listen and you want to advise on it, and then the next time you see another in the same situation but in a different corner. I'm like, God bless counselors out to you, you know, advice on one thing but in different directions, because I never to be say no, I bet to be the same way but in different ways. Otiasie obia in a life and living it. This morning you bedding come afa. Is it letting go?
The fear.
The fear. Okay. So the fear of starting
afresh.
You was school, no, you was secondary school, no. What that was we are wearing. When I say we are wearing, who as one. Maybe I would that was about senior be able born now say tap or start afresh. I said nana would the need now just also start to be. I don't know as to whether you're going to be able to do it or not. On your catch a boat way rising their bell now. You still have to wake up. Now the fear. Okay, what is it that you know people fear? The fear that holds people back from trusting again. Okay, so starting afresh. Obi on more to a relationship, it didn't go well, and then you will meet the right person, and then for the wrong reasons you just don't want to get into, or then you start treating the right person wrongly because you feel say everybody's like that. I met this guy that said, as for Madia, as have you dated all women? Why are you saying this to me? Women are like that, you know. Why are you saying all men are not this? Have you dated all men? No, that kind of thing. Good morning, Kelly. How are you?
Good morning. It's been awesome so far without even starting the show.
You know, I know. Here we just have beautiful conversations.
Good to be here again.
Yeah.
Thank you. More even.
Oh.
Yeah.
The
viewers are missing out a lot.
Oh,
yeah.
They are.
But we'll give them what's worth, right?
Good to be here.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. First and foremost, I must applaud you. Congratulations for being a counselor. I don't know what would make you want to be one. Me, it's out of my league. People show my own self. I know feel, you know. So congratulations, and I'm happy and grateful. I'm thankful for everybody. We are thanking you that we have people like you that will have ears to listen to our.
Your life will be better. Oh.
Hey, really?
Hey, you hear what
do.
She said? She said, thank you for being a counselor. So that one day, you don't get problem. You don't get wahala.
Really? We are the ones with the greatest issues. We just do what we do for God and country. Let's be sincere. A counselor has the most complicated life.
How?
A counselor has all the tutorials in his mouth, but is critically viewed to see how much he lives up to what he says.
Okay, so it's like a signboard,
for
right?
An average marriage, to be expected to score like 9 over 10, a counselor is supposed to score 25 over 10.
Wow.
I can't even afford to make a mistake because that mistake becomes the new trend for every other husband. So I'm meticulously, intentionally living to make sure I live within the confines of what I've said. It's a very, very hectic thing to do.
Practicing
to be a counselor, Jesus. Every single person wants to see how you're playing out what you said.
Yes, yes.
So
you're forgetting you're human, eh?
That's the whole thing. They think that a doctor who is curing a patient who has cancer shouldn't have cancer.
Yeah.
I get it.
Simply put, I could preach about this.
I get it. Now tell, if I were that one person that comes and says, Kelly, I cannot trust again because I've been through this very, very bad, you know, relationship. It could be friendship, it could be marriage, it could be whatever relationship there is. I have been through this relationship and, you know, I gave it all and everything and somehow I got disappointed. And, you know, I cannot trust again. And me sure before fro, but me and she be bium send no immediately. There are so many people that have been in relationships for 7 years, 2 years, 4 years, devoted, and then everything goes into crackdown, you know, and then you meet another person, you don't know how to do it. How do you start afresh?
Okay, 2 things are wrong. To trust someone is the wrongest assumption of human relations.
Okay.
It's not your place to trust a human being. It's not even your place to trust yourself. I'm a Christian personality, so can I tilt towards that a little bit?
Yeah.
It says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Not half of your heart, not most of your heart, not 99% of your heart. So if he says, trust in the Lord with all your heart, which side of your heart did you take and give boy? I don't know if you understand what At what point did you find another human justifiable to share God's space? You don't trust nobody. You trust God that the one you have would work for you, believing in the person you're in a relationship with.
Believing.
I believe in you that as I trust God, we will make it happen together. That's the most humblest or meekest way to start a relationship. Knowing that this person is bound to hurt you to start with. We go into relationships with so much expectation that we put a seal of trust on a relationship. You've ruined it before you start.
You've ruined it.
You've ruined it before you start. Trust in the God who gave you him or her and believe in the person you have that you guys can make it happen together. That's a better way to start than to say, oh, I trusted you and he broke it. How did he get your heart to break it? I can't give a human my heart. I'll give God my heart to take care of it and ask God to help me relate with the person.
Curse is the one who puts his trust
in man.
So you relate to the next person that you supposedly, like you're thinking you have to relate with that person who you are in a relationship with. Now, then again, how is the relationship, how is the relating going to be like? How is it going to be like? I'm believing in you. Now, you are making me to understand.
Right.
I stand to be corrected. That there's a difference between belief and to trust.
Yes.
And we must put our trust in God.
Yes.
And then believe that
in the person you have.
That you're going to, we are going to make it work. So how else do we relate to you properly?
Okay. Trust is, belief is confidence. Belief is optimism. Trust is loyalty.
Okay.
And you can't be loyal to someone who doesn't even know how his own makeup. You both should trust in the one who you believe brought you guys together and believe in yourselves that you are both employees under the same company and the CEO will take care of you. Otherwise, you make God of a human and expect the person to play out God's role. Because the person is limited in his own capacity in different ways.
Nice.
So what you need to understand is he's as human as I am. And you have to create in your mind that this person is not meant to intentionally hurt me. That's where to start from. 2, you have to understand that if this relationship doesn't work, by the way, before you say we are in a relationship, we would have crossed all T's and dotted every I. So we are starting at a point where we've checked everything else. Now you have to understand that if this relationship begins to get cracks or hitches, it's not his fault, it's the enemy's fault. Hold on. This doesn't justify anybody's nonsense. Exactly. But I'm just saying that it starts from the enemy using the one you love most against you. If you have that as a first perspective towards addressing a matter, you would love him more, hate what he does more, and then address the source of what he's doing, which is not him. He's just an agent used by some. Look, the enemy is not pleased with any beautiful love relationship. Let's clear it.
So what you're saying again, Semetiasia,
Right.
is that you have to condemn the actions and not the person.
Condemn the action, love the person like the person never offended you. Because offense is illegal in a love relationship or marriage.
Are you taking the person away from the actions?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because no sane person goes into a relationship to hurt somebody. Nobody goes into a relationship to intentionally hurt somebody.
But some have hidden agendas, you know.
That's why you should have crossed your
I's and
T's and dotted your I's. And that's, we don't even have time for that, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. No, I'm getting it. So then, a lot of people, are merging, merging the two, where they're blaming the person, blaming the action. So you cannot pull up a solution, or even have a decent communication, like talk with each other about whatever is the problem. I always
Right.
tell my friends that when I'm talking with you about something that happened, take me away. Let's talk about what happened, and not, like, I'm telling you, stop dropping your phone, and you're saying, because you bought the phone for me. I say, you see, I'm not trying to tell you anything concerning the phone. The fact that I bought you a phone, that is different. I'm telling you to protect it. And then the person goes ahead and say, okay, because you bought it for me, you are telling me how to use it. Is that what we are trying? You have to.
No, in that case, that's a case of irresponsibility and inferiority on the person who is being corrected. If you're given a gift, a human gift, a lover, that person is your sole responsibility for keeps and for care. That person's breath is accountable on you. So you must make sure that it works. Now, if the other person is now saying, look, at this point, this is a hitch I'm having in our relationship, and I think this is what is wrong, you don't blame it on the person's inadequacies. You blame it on the fact that there's a matter on ground. Let's take ourselves off it, and let's deal with how to get this off our midst. Because the more I say it's because you did so and so, or it's because I did so and so, we would be enemies of each other, and whatever is transpiring will keep growing.
Okay.
We'll keep being fed.
I get it now. Can we move?
We can.
Okay. Now, let's get to where, first relationship did not work. Whatever it is, it did not work.
Right.
We did not cross the I's. We didn't cross the T's. Or then we did, but something happened. It did not work.
Right.
So whatever happened, it's so much, not leaving the person. That
I know that one.
Different. So now I'm asking, how does one actually clear all that, put it in the past, and start all over with someone else, or then start afresh?
Truth is, many people do not take the responsibility to heal before they move into another relationship.
Okay.
I say a responsibility to heal, because you can't bleed on someone who didn't cut you. You can't spill blood on someone who didn't cause your trauma.
Bring it back again.
It's not my fault you had a broken heart. I met you as an individual, and I expected to meet you whole and not have accumulation of past issues. That's your business. Sort it out before you get into a new relationship, because I'm coming in whole. I'm coming in ready to do something fresh with you, so you don't keep referring me to your exes. Oh, if only you know what I've been through. I'm not your father.
Wait.
I came into your life to work with you to make our lives better.
When I say this here, don't say I'm mean.
Don't tell me where you come from.
Mean.
Let me ask,
Yes.
how then does one get to heal themselves? What are the processes of healing yourself before you get into?
Fantastic question. I'll give you one CD.
Yeah, that's all you got for it.
First,
Is that all?
Oh no, I could do more. First, forgive yourself for condoning nonsense.
Oh.
Forgive yourself for believing in nonsense. Forgive yourself for accommodating and loving nonsense. What is nonsense? Nonsense is anything that makes no sense to your primary values.
Wow.
You had a particular lifestyle working for you, and you permitted yourself to allow somebody antagonistic to your belief systems get into your life, and he ruined it. Whose fault? The person or you? No one can ruin your life without permission. No one can access your life without a visa. So you caused it primarily, and then they aided and abated. So forgive yourself for accommodating nonsense. 2, forgive the person for your own sanity. for the blessing of your mental health. Oh, I'll give you a story. I'll tell you a story rather. So a particular lady was maltreated by a particular guy who she had given her life to for 11 years. How do you even date for 11 years in this century? Anyway, 11 years, the relationship went off.
So what are they doing? What they?
I'll get her number and send it to you. So the relationship didn't work, but she was brutally treated. And of course, terribly hurt. And she was a Christian and said, oh God, deal with this guy for me. Because of what this guy has done, deal with this guy for me. 10 years later, the more she said, deal with this guy for me, the more the guy prospered.
Wow.
Everything she said against this guy on her knees, the guy was getting the positive, direct opposites in his life. And she hadn't moved from the spot where he left her. So, after 10 years, she's like, God, is it that you are calling it my fault? He says, no. You are my daughter. I didn't teach you to hate. I taught you to bless. So why don't you start from forgiving him? Okay, God, I forgive him. That was the year he died.
Oh.
Your forgiveness is toxic to the person who hurt you. Your forgiveness to the person who hurt you is like coals of fire on the person's life. But as long as you withhold to yourself, he treated me this way, and it will never be well with him, what powers do you have to ensure that? But the moment you forgive and let go, you put the case in God's hands for vindication. And that's where you get out of the case and God says, I'll show you that I'm a father you should be proud of. I will teach this person that though this person too is my child, you don't treat another sibling like that. Because God is our father eventually. Yeah. So he knows how to discipline each sibling to treat the other sibling right. But when you code hurts, vengeance is mine, says the Lord. Scripture said so. So why do you pronounce curses or all those things are emotional?
Emotional attributes.
Anybody who curses, oh, because you did this to me, may this thing happen to you, may this thing happen to you. True, some of those things happen, but you will not be a better person for it. So the primary thing is that we have refused to heal by ourselves before we get into a relationship. And so we go into the new relationship skeptical of the next person. I've seen your type before. Be careful. And the person is like, what have I done? Meaning fable. What have I done to you? Maya Udeng. I just came to have a life with you. And so far, I have not hurt you. But the fact that I made a mistake shouldn't remind you of previous people's occurrences with you. Come on. I'm not an angel.
I'm human.
I'm human. So you've got to come to a point where you forgive yourself for all the things you've gone through and be ready to love again because you are a person of love. God is love and love is God. You can't take love away from God. So if you say you have God in you, you must have loads of love in you. I'll tell you another story. So this child, this mother who got pregnant at 18, did everything she knew in her capacity to abort it. This baby won't go. Eventually, the baby is born. The slightest thing the baby does, she spanks the baby like the baby has done something unthinkable. But you see, after the spanking, after the whatever, she carries the baby to her bosom and puts her breasts in the baby's mouth. Why? It means that no matter how much you want to chastise a child or put anger on a child, you still can't throw that child away under normal circumstances, except there's something wrong with you. So you cuddle the same child you tried to venge on or correct or whatever it is. If that be the case, you should know that you never throw anybody away. Never, ever give up on anyone. I'm not saying stay in a relationship where your life is involved. I'm saying there's a nice way to put a relationship away and not put hatred in between you and the person.
Okay, so
because that's what helps you to manage the next relationship. Otherwise, you would have an accumulation of trauma in that person's life, and anything that person does, even with the right intention, will be a trigger.
So the closure.
Closure. Get. Most of talking about closure, you might never always get the other person telling you what caused the separation. So you've got to have that closure with yourself. You've got to have that meeting with yourself. Sincerely, Ajwa, where did I go wrong? Okay, myself. Sincerely, Kofi, where did I go wrong? If this was in court and the judge was fair, would I win the case on why this relationship broke? If this judge was fair, nobody bribing nobody, and the judge is just saying it exactly as we both narrate our stories, would I win this case fairly? And if the answer is no, the first thing after forgiving yourself is to apologize to the next person, though the relationship is not back. So you're not apologizing for reconciliation, for a comeback. You're reconciling for the peace of the universe to prevail in the hearts of you both. That's one. Two, you then begin to work on yourself on where you were wrong. Matter of fact, even if you would have won the case, you still could have done certain things better than you did to prevent the eventual breakup. So it sits on you to even give the other person benefits of the doubt that, oh, perhaps if I had loved him in this other way, we wouldn't have broken up. The truth is, if you don't address love or marriage or courtship or dating with intentional meekness, you will always justify why the other person is wrong and why you've done enough and why you want to walk away. It has to be, like I said, the power of intentional meekness puts you at a place of correction, puts you at a place of undying love, and it puts you at a place of peace that even if the person goes, even heaven knows, come on, I've done my very best. And when that person goes, no matter how far that person goes, the person has a testimony of you that no water can carry away.
Yeah, so you find out that most people are friends with people they have been with, let me put it that way, quote unquote. Friendship person.
I wouldn't say friend. I wouldn't say be friends with your ex.
Yeah, but
it's a very dangerous
cool.
thing to do.
Yeah,
be an acquaintance. There's a difference between having an acquaintance and having a friend.
What are the difference?
Oh, fantastic. Oh, thank you for the question. You are increasing the... Now, I'll add another one, CD.
And I did it this way.
Exactly.
The greetings of kings.
The greeting of kings, exactly. An acquaintance is a person who you are comfortable opening up to see how far you would want to go in terms of closeness with the person. Period.
Wow.
Don't add anything to it. Don't take anything from it. A person who you're comfortable with opening up to see the prospects of a furtherance in relating with a person. That could be someone you've known for 10 years. The person is still not a friend.
Yeah.
No, the person is still not a friend. Even if I've worked with you here for 25 years, as long as you're still within that confine, you're still an acquaintance. Now, who then is a friend? A friend is a person. A friend is a person who understands your purpose and goals in life, can interpret your purpose and goals in life, and can execute it in your absence even without being told.
Wow.
Anyone who can't do that is not a friend yet.
Abraham and God.
It's still an acquaintance. And I'll give you a perfect example. David and Jonathan. Jonathan knew David's goal and purpose in life, such that even in David's absence, he knew that this is what David is ordained to be. Now, biologically, or by inheritance, the throne is mine. But when I check the truth, because there's a difference between fact and truth. Fact is possibility, truth is reality. I can see that the person who should sit on the throne, according to God's
Agenda.
Ordination. Agenda. Ah, that's a fantastic word.
Another one.
By God's agenda, it's not me. It's David ordained. So I relinquish my throne for this person I call my friend because I understand his vision and purpose. Wow. How many people would do that? If you can't find a person who can do that for you, every relationship you have with a person is still within the confines of an acquaintance. Don't give a person a merit they've not earned.
So a friend should actually merit a lot of things. A lot of times people meet people 2 days and, oh, Madam Fonono.
Debbie.
When I say somebody's not my friend, but it's always.
And you don't mean evil. You don't mean
I don't
harm.
mean evil, but
I don't
really,
just know
the
you.
person is
You
not
don't,
my friend.
What do you know about me?
Yeah, you see, he calls me that he's not my friend. You are not my friend,
No.
and I am very comfortable and everything to correct you every time you might go out and tell people
you can have
I'm
a
your
friendly
friend.
colleague. Friendly colleague, but not friend. It's a different. Friendly colleague means I approach you warmly within work ethics.
Within work ethics.
An acquaintance says, I can do everything with you as long as you permit me.
But a friend.
But, Shadaka, if I say friend, it means at my death, I can be assured that even if I don't have a will, you know what to do with it.
That's true.
Even
Everybody
if I've not
has that
written
one.
a will, you know what to do with it.
to do.
Because you understand my vision.
We've been talking all our life. We know each other. I know what you want to die for. So I even know why you died.
And you killed me.
Hey, you're not nice.
I know.
I thought you were nice until
I'm
now.
not nice. No,
Jeez,
I'm
you
not nice. Everybody
need
knows
help.
I'm not nice. Everybody knows I'm not nice. You know, it's my
friend in need.
It's a friend indeed.
Yeah.
I now understand that a friend in need is a friend in
yeah,
need.
see,
Now I understand it.
You need to earn it.
Yeah.
And I don't need to write exams for you. You don't test people to see what they would do. Let life's circumstances, vicissitudes show the true colors of what do you do when I'm in pain? What's your countenance like when I'm in pain? What do you do when I'm broke? I'm not saying give me money if you and I know you don't have. I'm not saying go and borrow if you can't. But what's your countenance like whilst I'm broke? Intermittently, I'm checking on you. I know you don't have. You two, I know. You two, you know I don't have. But what do we do? Have you made this call? Have you made that call? And I called some uncle. He said he's maybe next week. Show concern and be genuine about it. People who are in pain. People who are in pain are the perfect X-ray machines to know who is genuine with them.
It's true.
You know,
I will know it if you feel what I feel.
At that point, I tell you a story too for free. Probably for 1 city. You know, I got into a very, let's say, pain. You know, I got into this space and I didn't call my friends. I don't have too many friends. I can't count 10.
But you shouldn't.
I can't
Nobody
count 10.
should.
I don't even want to count 10. Wow. But
no, nobody should.
No, I can't count 10.
10?
I can't. It's too many.
In this world.
But I did not call people I called friends because I didn't. Mankai. Mankai. I was just doing this myself. You know, I'm that want to get a hold of things another floor. But you know, I always want to put stuff together. Mankai. But my friends showed up. They knew.
You could tell.
They showed up. So
that's a friend.
At a point wherever I was, there was a lot of noise. There was a lot of noise where I was, and a person close to me was saying, "Why am I needed?" I said, "I know who's making the noise." I told the nurse, "I know who's making the noise. I know them. Allow them." I didn't tell. I think the reason I didn't call them because I know they're noisy.
You know what?
I know what they're capable of doing. So
Exactly.
I did not call them, but they knew. I didn't show them where I was. They knew. I didn't tell them what to do. They did what they had to do. And I didn't tell them the time to go or the time to be. You know, they were just doing what they got to do. They just, when I opened my eyes, I knew they, you know, he go do this one go do he go do he go do
Until you've seen someone's nakedness to the max, and the person has seen your nakedness to the max, you can't call the person a friend. And by the way, there's a difference between nakedness and nudity.
Yeah.
Which
Nakedness.
nakedness did you talk about?
I'm about to explain. Nakedness is emptying yourself on the table for this person to see exactly how you are, such that without clothes, the person doesn't even notice the clothes are off. The person is relating with your soul and not your body. Nudity is when I see what you're showing me, I like it, and I want it. I can be nude with you, but not naked with you. Because nudity channels us to having pleasure. But nakedness channels us to being real. And we can be real without having that kind of pleasure.
I get.
So, nakedness is me telling you past, present, and future, and trusting you to sail with you to the future I have proposed. That is nakedness. However, if it's not mutual, it's still not friendship. There's a terrible thing people call out there, oh, my bestie, my best friend. It's the most risky statement to make. That's my best friend. And I say this to you. What's the guarantee that you are your best friend's best friend?
Thank you.
What?
Is your pastor a Christian? When I ask you, you say he.
What shows that me who is calling you my best friend to the whole world, can I vow?
Deep.
What shows that you are my best friend? You see, a lot of people tell other people, oh, yeah, madam for pound. I don't even know you.
So it's one-sided.
I'm a public personality. I see you, I shake you, I hug you, I let you know that I appreciate that you recognize me at the mall, at the gas station, or anywhere else. So I'm going to give you all the warmth. We are not friends. Bessie?
From where?
From how?
Not where, but how.
You don't know who is your bestie until someone is dead. Until someone is dead. And there are two types of death. Death in the coffin and dead in the soul. What are you doing at my most broken states? Then I know you.
Yeah.
That's my best friend.
So, one, you have to forgive yourself. You have to forgive
yourself.
The other.
Apologize to the other person, even when it doesn't look like they were wrong. It's for your healing.
It's for your healing, your sanity.
Forgive. Mental health is very important.
Yes.
We don't have time. We don't have time.
Yeah.
Forgive yourself. Forgive the other and apologize to the other person. Go in retrospect, take stock of the relationship again, and reanalyze the relationship. Now, 4, work on yourself. Become an improved version of the person who once dated Kofi. And promise yourself to be a better person for whoever comes next. So that the person doesn't feel the affliction of where you're coming from. Because it's not the person's fault where you're coming from. Don't say, oh, you're not understanding. If you know what I've been through, you're not understanding. Do you know my past? You're not understanding. Do you know how hurt I am?
I'm not your father.
I'm not your father. I didn't contribute to who you are.
Yeah, that's the thing is that got stuck in my mind.
I'm not your dad.
Okay, so you know when this will be continued later. We have to wrap up this thing beautifully. It has actually done a lot of good this way around.